Okay, class, let's continue. Okay, so number 64. So this time, lease modification. Okay, so as discussed previously, okay, on the part of the lessee, same lang yung concept ng lease modification. So yung definition, and that is change in what? Scope or change in consideration. Okay, that was not part of the original terms and conditions. Okay, so hindi naman siya part ng original terms and conditions pero nagbago yung scope, okay, nagbago yung consideration. Okay, and just like the lessee, so meron ding lease modification na accounted for separately and not accounted for separately. So meaning, yun bang lease modification na yan, will that affect yung existing or dapat i-account yan separately? So dun sa number 64, a lessor shall account for a modification to a finance lease. Again, nasa finance lease pa rin tayo. So kasi nga, pag operating yan at minodify, so treated na kagad yon as new lease. So bali, wala na yung old, bago na yung lease. Okay, so considered yan as a separate lease if just like the lessee. So ang sagot dyan, letter C. So yung modification is what? Increase in scope and with commensurate increase in what? Consideration. So kapag ka yung increase in scope ay merong commensurate increase in consideration, then treated yan as a separate lease. So just like in our example earlier. So let's say nga, currently ang pinaparentahan lang ay machine number 1. Tapos ngayon, ang paparentahan na machine number 1 and 2. So nag-increase yung scope. Instead na 1 only, naging 1 and 2 na. So pag yung increase in scope na yon ay may commensurate increase in consideration, then yung lease of machine 2 is considered as a separate lease. Separate from machine number 1. Okay? So again just like the lessee So pag nag-increase ang scope with commensurate increase in consideration, account separately. Okay? And that is, dahil ito ay lessor, i-consider uli kung yung lease ba ng machine number 2 ay operating or finance. So it will not affect yung lease ng machine number 1. Okay? Paano kung hindi siya increase in scope? Or increase nga in scope, hindi naman commensurate yung increase in consideration, then not accounted for as a separate lease. So meaning, i-reassess yung original, yung existing. Okay, so kung yung existing ba na yan ay finance pa rin or baka na-convert na into what? Operating. So again so kapag increase in scope, with commensurate increase in consideration, just like in our example, existing machine 1, naging 1 and 2 na. So, i-account separately yung machine 2, walang effect yun sa machine 1. Kung yan ay, so increase in scope with commensurate increase in consideration. So, if not, decrease ang nangyari in scope, hindi commensurate yung consideration, then number 65. So for modification to a finance lease that is not accounted for as a separate lease, then we need to consider yung naging effect ng modification on the existing lease. Okay, so how should the lessor account for the modification? So ang sagot, as I mentioned already, letter C. Either A or B. So in letter A, ang nangyari dyan, because of the modification, yung finance lease, na-convert into what? Operating. So meaning, if the lease would have been classified as an operating lease, had the modification been in effect already, at inception, then, so na-convert nga effectively from finance lease to operating. So yung accounting dyan, covered yan ng PFRS 16. And that is, so nung ni-recognize yung finance lease, ni-remove yung underlying asset. Kung palang yung conditions, kung yung terms pala and conditions na yan ay existing na at inception, dapat pala operating. So mawawala yung finance lease receivable, kakansilin. Kakansilin yung unearned finance income. So di ba nga yung difference between the receivable, yung gross investment at saka yung unearned finance income ay yung net investment. So yung net investment na yon ang magiging carrying amount ng underlying asset. So ibabalik ba yung asset? So account for the lease modification as what? New lease. Hindi na siya finance, operating na siya. From the effective date of the modification. And since na-convert nga siya as operating lease, so ibabalik yung underlying asset, i-recognize uli. At how much? Okay, yung net investment in the lease. And that is yung gross investment, yung receivable, minus yung unearned finance income. So ano magiging entry in that case? So journal entry. So just to illustrate. So i-debit yung underlying asset at how much? Net investment in the lease at the time of modification. Cancel yung unearned finance income or yung unearned interest or discount. Then cancel yung finance lease receivable. So yung difference nga ng receivable, okay, at ng unearned finance income, yun yung net investment. Okay? So kasi nga from finance na convert into what? Operating. Now, dun sa letter B, ang nangyari diyan na modify. Okay, pero finance lease pa rin despite the modification. So if that's the case, okay, from finance lease to finance lease pa rin, hindi na to covered ng PFRS 16, yung effect ng modification. And as I mentioned earlier, yung finance lease receivable ay para ba siyang financial asset? So parang ang nangyari diyan, nagkaroon ng modification dun sa financial asset. At dahil yung finance lease receivable ay effectively financial asset at amortized cost, so yung concept similar. So i-account siya hindi na under PFRS 16 but under PFRS 9. Particularly paragraph 5.44 5.4.3. So that is yung modification. So anong gagawin dyan? So since nagbago nga yung terms, magre-recompute dyan ng receivable, okay, ng net investment. So based on the revised terms, ito na yung present value of lease payment receivable. So yan yung magiging carrying amount na, ayan na yung magiging net investment. Siyempre, iba yan dun sa existing. Okay? So yung difference, yun ang magiging modification. Gain or loss. So similar dun sa financial asset at amortized cost na nagkaroon ng change in cash flows dahil sa modification. Okay? So kaya again pag yung FL na convert into operating. So treat as what? Okay, a new lease. Okay, from the effective date of the modification. So that is remove remove the net investment. Tapos i-recognize uli yung underlying asset. Okay? Then, kung yan naman ay from finance lease, despite the modification, finance pa rin, ayun. So, continue. I-account lang yan as what? Modification. So, syempre, nagbago na yung lease payments, receivable, magbabago na yung net investment. So, magkakaroon ng remeasurement. Okay, at yung modification na yun, so magkakaroon ng gain or loss. Okay, so to summarize, refer to the lecture notes. So, ito yung summary. So, on the part of lessors. So, ang problema nga kasi kay lessor, meron kasing finance and operating. So, pagka yan ay operating lease at minodify, so treated na kagad yan as new lease. Meaning, wala na yung old, wala na yung existing, bago na yung lease. Okay? At yung bagong lease na yun, yun din. Ika-classify uli. Ano ba to? Operating or finance. Then, kung yan ay finance lease, tapos minodify, so depende sa change in scope. Yan ba ay increase or decrease? And if that is increase in scope, tapos commensurate yung increase in consideration, no effect yan on the existing lease. Okay, account the modification as a separate lease. Okay, pero kung yung consideration ay not commensurate dun sa increase in scope, then not a separate lease. So, ganun din kung yan ay decrease in scope. So, not a separate lease. And as noted, okay, in the previous question, okay, so kung yan nga ay not considered as a separate lease, then, okay, i-check what happened because of the modification. Na-convert ba into operating? So, treat as a new lease. So, i-account as operating lease from the effective date of modification. Kung yan ay finance, naging finance lease pa rin or nagstay siya as finance lease, then i-treat lang as modification. Similar to modification of financial asset at amortized cost. Okay, so yan ang accounting for modification. Again, pag sinabing modification, nagkaroon ng change in what? Scope or change in what? Consideration. Tapos hindi siya part ng original terms and conditions. Okay, now, number 66. So another issue. So lease of land and building. Okay, which statement is incorrect. So A is a correct statement. In classifying lease of land and buildings elements would normally, okay, normally be considered separately. Okay, so that is, okay, parang bumili ba ng land na may kasamang building. So normally, ina-account yan separately. Kaya kung nagpaparenta ng land, nagpaparenta ng building, syempre normally, pag pinarenta mo yung building, kasama yung land. Okay, so yung dalawang components na yan, yung elements na yan, normally, ina-account yan separately. Okay, so how? Okay, so that's letter B. Yung lease payments, allocated siya between land and the building's elements in proportion to their relative fair value. So yung lease payments, allocated pro rata. So based on fair value. Okay, so C is also correct. In determining whether the land element is an operating lease or a finance lease, an important consideration is that land normally has indefinite economic life. So actually before, merong presumption Okay, doon sa land. So ang presumption sa land, unless may transfer of ownership, operating. Pero binago na. Okay? So pero yung essence niya basically ganun pa rin. So pero dito parang sinasabi lang na pag ika-classify daw yung land component, you need to consider na yung life ng land is normally indefinite. So kaya usually ang land component operating. So unless nga may transfer of ownership. Okay? Pero yung building component kasi kahit walang transfer of ownership, pwede siyang finance or operating. Okay? So dito nagkamali sa letter D. Walang presumption sa building. So the building element, mali yung normally. Okay? Mali yung normally classified as finance. It can be finance or what? Operating. Okay? So kaya pwede nga ang mangyari dyan, yung land operating. So lalo na kung wala nga transfer of ownership. Tapos yung building, pwedeng finance lease. Okay? So kaya yung lease payments, ina-allocate. So yung payment dun sa building component, as if payment nga dun sa principal and interest. Yung payment naman para dun sa land component, okay? So payment for rent. So that's the situation actually in number 67. So ang hinahanap dyan, okay, operating lease income. So here's the background. So the entity leased a building for 20 years. And that is also the life of the building. So automatic yung building component finance lease. Pero dahil wala namang transfer of ownership dyan sa lease na yan, the land component is okay, operating. So total fair value of the leasehold interest, 7.5 million. 6 million of that allocated to building. So 1.5 million yung land. So yung annual rentals, 800,000. So allocated yan based on fair value. So land operating since walang indication, walang indicator of finance lease. Ito namang building, finance lease kasi yung lease term 100% ng life. So, okay, yung operating lease income, that's 800,000 times the fraction applicable to land. And that is 1.5 over 7.5. So the lease payment allocated pro rata based on fair value. So yung payment na yan, applicable sa land, treated as rent income. So 67, bravo. Okay, so 67, bravo. Okay, now presentation and disclosures. Okay, so of course, yung receivable, okay, so yung in relation to the finance lease, yung finance lease receivable, parang lease liability din yan, may current, non-current portion. So yung collectible within 12 months, current, yung not collectible within 12 months, non-current. Okay, and then as to the disclosures, okay, so so ito muna yung in general. So just like the lessee, disclose information that gives a basis for users of FS to assess the effect that leases have on financial position, financial performance, and cash flows. Okay, so this time of the lessor. So pero yung concept, yung okay, general disclosure requirement na yan, ano? Same lang doon sa lessee. Okay, so in particular nga, yan, ano ba yung impact ng lease on asset, liability, equity, income, expense, cash flows. And then yung specific information, nandun yan sa paragraphs 90 to 97. And of course, yung i-disclose, depende nga kung operating ba yan or finance lease. Okay, so number 68. In relation to finance leases, okay, a lessor shall disclose the following amounts for the reporting period. So ang sagot dyan, delta. All of this. And what are those? Kung yan ay sales type, yung naging selling profit or loss. Okay, so letter B, yung finance income on the net investment. So whether yan ay sales type or direct financing, may interest, may finance income. And then yung income relating to variable lease payments not included in the measurement of the net investment. So example nga yan, okay, kung yung payments ay based on sales, yan, based on usage. So kasi nga yung variable payments included lang kapag based on index or rate o yung tinatawag na okay, inflation link payments. Pero yung other variable payments, okay, so income pa rin yan. So pero hindi na isama sa measurement ng net investment, so dapat i-disclose. Or simply stated, ano yung pinapadisclose? Income in relation to what? Finance lease. Selling profit or loss, interest, then okay, yung variable lease payments na hindi na isama sa net investment. So basically, disclose yung finance lease related income. Yeah. Okay, number 69. For finance leases, the lessor shall do all of this. And what are those? Yan, letter A. Provide qualitative and quantitative explanation of the significant changes in carrying amount of the net investment. So para bang reconciliation to eh. Okay, net investment beginning. Tapos net investment ending. So what happened in between? So dapat ma-explain doon bakit nag-increase or bakit nag-decrease. Okay, so provide yan yung explanation for the significant changes, increase, decrease in net investment. Letter B, disclose maturity analysis of the lease payments receivable, showing yung undiscounted lease payments to be received on an annual basis for a minimum of each of the first 5 years. So let's say ang lease term, 10 years. So magkano yung marireceive or yung receivable year 1, okay, so yung next year, so yung next year, so yung for 5 years, so year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. For the first 5 years, how much per year? So beyond 5 years, so total na lang. And so total of the amounts for the remaining years. Okay, then reconcile yung undiscounted lease payments to the net investment in the lease. So basically, ito yung finance lease receivable. So dapat pag yung minus natin dyan, yung unearned finance income, dapat mag-tie up dun sa net investment in the lease. So again, yung gross, yung finance lease receivable, minus yung unearned finance income, dapat yun yung net investment in the lease. Okay, so yan na. So the lessor shall do A, B, and C. Now, 70. For operating leases, a lessor shall disclose letter C, both A and B. So, yung letter A, so katulad sa finance lease, pinapadisclose yung income. So, ganun din. Dapat i-disclose din ng lessor yung income niya under operating leases. So, separately disclosing yung income relating to variable lease payments that do not depend on index or rate. So, example nga niyan, yung payment based on sales, yan, payment based on usage. So, basta simply dyan sa letter A, disclose yung lease income. Okay, pero yun lang, disclose separately ha, yung payment na based on separately yung variable payments that do not depend on index or rate or yung tinatawag na inflation link payments. So katulad din sa finance lease, pinapadisclose din yung maturity analysis. Okay, ganun din. So yung first 5 years per year at a minimum yun per year. Okay, tapos beyond that, pwedeng total na lang. Example yan, example. This one. Okay, ayan si San Miguel. So meron siyang disclosure on operating leases. So ito, yung first 5 years, so within 1 year, 1 to 2 years, 2 to 3 years, 3 to 4, tapos 4 to 5. So notice yung disclosure per year. Tapos yung more than 5 years yan, total na lang. Tapos yan, no, dinisclose kung magkano yung rent income na ni-recognize. Okay, so yan na. So in case of operating lease, disclose rent income, the lease income, disclose maturity analysis. For the first 5 years, gawin yan per year. So beyond that, total. Okay, now as I mentioned previously, yung IAS 17 requirements for lessor, na carry over lang yan to IFRS 16, okay, substantially unchanged. So, pero yun nga, nagdagdag ng disclosures. At ito yung number 71. Okay, so lagyan mo ng note. Yan yung additional disclosure requirements of PFRS 16. So, not required before in PAS 17. So, ang sagot dyan, letter C. Both A and B. And what are those? Yung kailangan i-disclose. Okay, so letter A, assets subject to operating leases separately from owned assets held and used for other purposes by the lessor. So, as noted earlier, di ba, doon sa ating problem on operating lease. So, paano nga ipe-present ni lessor yung machine for rental to others? On the face of the statement of financial position, naka-report yung machine na yon as PPE. Tapos sa notes, nandun yung composition ng PPE. So yung machine na for rental to others, i-disclose yun as a separate class of PPE. So dapat nakaseparate dun sa owned assets held. Okay, so para ba ma-highlight, ay ito pala for rental to others to. Under operating lease pala ito. And then regarding yung residual value risk, okay, so paano mina-manage yung exposure to that risk? So yan yung additional disclosures, okay, na wala dati sa PAS 70. Okay, so yan, okay, ang accounting, okay, on the part of lessors. Again, kay lessor ha, okay, may operating and finance. So depending on the transfer of risks and rewards. Okay, now, so paano naman itong sale and leaseback? Yan ang i-discuss natin in the next video. Okay?